So the Pokemon Present just wrapped up, and let's talk about the things that happened in it. I'm going to be using this Verge article as kind of the B footage, just to kind of go through it with you guys. Stop showing me ads. Go away. So let's talk about it. Stop showing me ads. Oh my god. Verge. So, I think we're going to start from what happened first and get through to it. So actually, let's talk about some of the things that happened early on. It spoke about Pokemon Concierge is going to get more episodes coming in September. Those episodes are going to some of the existing episodes are going to drop on Pokemon's YouTube official channel, so you can check them out there if you don't have Netflix. Then there is going to be some TCG stuff being announced. So in Pokemon TCG, they're introducing Mega Evolutions, which is quite cool. I don't play TCG apart from the phone version of it, and in the phone version of it, they're releasing a new booster pack, I believe, coming out tomorrow. And in that booster pack, it's Arceus, Tyranitar's in there. So some pretty cool stuff if you play the actual TCG game, which I think Mega Evolutions, the actual TCG, is the big thing if you play TCG Pokemon. And then if you're playing it on the phone like I do, it's pretty interesting. You're going to get some new cards, and it's always they really did a good thing with the dopamine thing of getting new cards in that, because I love it. Moving on to the stuff where I'm most interested in, I think this is the thing that's grabbed my attention the most: Pokemon Champions. Pokemon Champions is what I think gonna be what they do with their competitive going forward. Pokemon Champions is going to be basically Pokemon, but only focused on the battling. You can put Pokemon in from Pokemon Home, so you can import things from your Pokemon games, your on console, and also you can send them from the mobile apps, so Pokemon Go at this point. What's interesting is there was a line that they used, which was Pokemon that you obtain in Champions won't be the only ones that you can use. So obviously there's going to be a way to get Pokemon in Champions. I don't know how they're going to do that. Also, how they're going to monetize this. It's Nintendo, it's the Pokemon company. They're going to find a way to monetize this. What I don't know is if this is going to be truly what your future of competitive Pokemon is going to be. Is it going to be you having to pay to play the game? Is it going to be a subscription? Is it going to be you just pay for cosmetics? Kind of like, I don't know, if you want to dress up your character, you can use cosmetics for that. I don't think they would make it so you have to pay to get Pokemon. That seems silly. Their slogan is that for this is basically trying to make it accessible to everyone. I don't know. I mean, they're putting it on iOS and Android, and also the Switch. They're calling it the Switch family, so maybe it will be backwards compatible on the current Switch and the new Switch. There's no release date for this, so we don't know when this game is coming out. It's just in development. It's being developed by Game Freak and the Pokemon Works, so Game Freak being involved is a positive thing, especially for the competitive aspect. This is actually the coolest thing I found, Pokemon Champions. So we'll have to see. I'm not sure what's going on with this, because is it going to be the future of the competitive? Is it not? I don't know. There was some Pokemon Scarlet and Violet stuff, which was... I don't want to scroll up so you guys don't see stuff. But, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, there's going to be some, new raids. Mighty Meowscarada and Skeledirge and Quaquaval. Other Pokemon are going to be in there. You can get a new cover for your Rotom phone. So, little bits and pieces for that. I need them to do, 2 Pokemon available cross-platform. The Paradox Pokemon that were introduced in the DLC. There's, 2 of them that I don't have, because I don't know anyone who's got Violet. And I'm just I need those 2 Pokemon to get the shiny Meloetta in Pokemon Home. Come on, man. Oh my god, and every advert. Don't talk to me please. I hate you. And this is the news for ZA, that people were kind of looking forward to. I'm a bit confused by their choice in starters: Chikorita, Totodile, and Tepig. It feels like they're just trying to give you something Gen 2 related. Obviously, we've got Cyndaquil, Oshawott, and Rowlet in the first Legends game, Legends Arceus. What I don't understand is why you're giving us 2 Pokemon from the same generation. Surely you could have used, I don't know, a Hoenn Pokemon, maybe I guess get rid of Chikorita and throw in what's his name? Sceptile, well, Trico. But also, I don't know what they're going to do, because in Legends, they had new final evolutions. Because Mega Evolutions are back in this game, are they going to, instead of giving them new final evolutions, are they going to give them a new Mega Evolution for these 3 Pokemon? Well, give them Mega Evolutions in the first place. That being so, it wouldn't make sense to have maybe Trico in, because Trico's already got a Mega. So that's what I'm thinking is the reason. But I still don't get why they use 2 Pokemon from the same generation. You could have brought in one of the Gen 7 Pokemon starters or something. Yeah, I'm not too sure why they decided to go for 2 Pokemon from the same one. But the game is set in Lumio City, completely in Lumio City. So basically, they made Lumio City this massive space. I don't know what the timeline is. If it's in the timeline of the original Pokemon X and Y games, is it going to be a separate timeline? I don't know. AZ is there, the guy at the very end of X and Y. He's got his Eternal Floette. There's a new bad guy team whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. So I don't know. I don't know if it's the same timeline. Is it a situation with like Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby where it's a brand new timeline? Legends isn't. Like Legends Arceus, we don't know if it's actually part of the actual Pokemon timeline, if it's related to Gen 4, because there were obviously characters that looked very similar. There was that guy that gets sent back in time from Gen 5. So I don't know. I think people seem disappointed from the initial reactions I saw, but also it's a Legends game. I don't know how big it's going to be. I don't know what they were expecting it to be. Were they expecting it to be more like a mainline Pokemon game? I don't think it is. I think Legends is going to be their alternate game. I think, they're going to release a core game once every 3 years, and for one of the years they're going to fill the slot with a Legends game, which kind of makes sense, gives them more time to develop as well, because I think people complain that the last few Pokemon games, well, the ones on the Switch, have been a little bit not underwhelming from a gameplay perspective. I think they're fine from a gameplay perspective, but I think from, what you can do with the Switch, I think Game Freak aren't doing as much as they can with the Switch as like Nintendo have been able to do, like with Breath of the Wild, or even with some of these other third-party studios have been able to do with it. I'm thinking like the Shin Megami Tensei games. Those are like really pretty well populated and stuff. Even the newer Fire Emblem games, I think, really push the limits of the Switch in a way that the Pokemon games haven't been able to. And I think with the Switch 2 coming out, obviously this year, we can maybe see how Pokemon want to be like, okay, let's see really how we can develop a core game on this new hardware, and maybe the new game comes out next year. I don't know what this means for competitive either. Is Legends going to be the competitive game? The last Legends game wasn't competitive. Does that mean Scarlet and Violet is going to be the competitive game for another year? That'll be quite interesting, because we've had 3 World Championships so far with it. Definitely 2. I think maybe 3 with Scarlet and Violet. So it'll be interesting to see where we go from there. But I think, in my opinion, sorry, there was also like Pokemon Unite stuff, but like, yeah, you can get Suicune in there. I don't play Unite. I played it for like a month when it came out, but I think it was a pretty interesting present. I think people are a little bit disappointed. They wanted more from the ZA announcement. Oh, there was also Pokemon Sleep stuff, and I think Pokemon Go stuff as well. But that's ancillary. But I think people were expecting more from it. I don't really know what more they could have given, because, they spoke about ZA. They basically gave you like the setting, some of the characters. You can obviously customize your character as well, which was pretty cool. They announced Champions. I think Champions was really cool. For me, as someone who did competitive Pokemon when I was much younger, like 10 years ago, and is kind of thinking about getting back into it, but working a job and having other responsibilities, playing Pokemon competitively isn't the easiest thing to do if you don't have a bunch of time and money to do it. So maybe Champions is a way of making it a lot more accessible and easier for people. For me, that would be like my preference. Maybe I could, I don't know, go and play in a tournament or a local competition or something with Pokemon that are far easier to train in Champions than in the current core games. And, that saves a bunch of time. Obviously, you have to pay to enter tournaments and stuff, but at the very least, it gets rid of the time sink aspect, which might make it, like they said, more accessible for everyone to play competitively. But I don't know. That's my speculation. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. What were your thoughts on the Pokemon Present 2025? I'm personally looking forward to ZA. I'm looking forward to Champions. But yeah, I liked Legends Arceus. I put a fair amount of time into it, and it felt like a game where you could just pick it up and put down very easily because you had like the daily missions to do, and the story wasn't something you had to do, and there was like you wanted to complete everything, you wanted to catch all of the Pokemon. I liked the setting of Legends Arceus as well. There's a new mechanic in this game where you actually move your Pokemon to avoid attacks. So clearly that's not going to be something we're going to do in competitive. This won't be the competitive game, now that I'm thinking about it. But it makes it a lot more like the anime, like Ash would say, Pikachu, dodge! And Pikachu dodged. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting. It's going to be a very different game. It's obviously going to come out on the Switch too. So it's going to be one of the games they use to really sell the Switch 2 as well. The game's coming out late 2025, so the Switch 2 is probably going to come out either around then or maybe summer of this year, and then so then people are encouraged to buy it if they haven't already bought it around summertime. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on the Pokemon Present. I'm looking forward to the games. Even with the TCG, I'm looking forward to opening a new pack tomorrow. But yeah, thanks for watching. Shout out to The Verge, obviously, for me using their thing. They don't know me. The Verge doesn't know me. But you might not know me either. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that cool stuff, and thank you for watching.